excited are you guys to vote Kamala 2024?
Nigga, I'm voting for Trump.
She's a black lady. Are you? Tell me why. Why?
Because Trump is a gangster.
See, I knew you were going to say that before you even said it.
Yeah, he's a gangster.
That bullet shot, like when he got his goddamn ear clapped off, it's just like somebody like now you have such a sense of communal rage with him. Like, you know how it feels to get shot. And even though he took a fucking little ass flesh
it
wound.
don't matter. He didn't know at the time, and the fact that he felt his feet and he could still get back up, and he bounced up and chunked up the.
Yeah, no,
that's
him
like
throwing
chunking
up,
the
like,
set. Like, nigga, I'm straight. Don't trip, cuz nigga, I'm finna go to the hospital. Nigga, y'all niggas don't cry.
Would you have voted when it was Obama versus who did he run against? Bob Dole?
Bob Dole
McCain.
is a fucking.
Would you have, if John McCain? Well, John McCain was captured in a fucking war camp and tortured.
Mitt Romney.
And Mitt Romney was the other person. If John McCain, I'll bring up a photo of him just for that.
I know.
Hey, he's a straight. He's
You know who John McCain.
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
If he had got shot in a similar sense in front of the whole nation on camera, would you have voted for him over Obama, who realistically was a relatively tepid African American, not the type that you would imagine to like survive a hail of gunfire?
Obama listens to a lot of rap music.
He do.
Don't
So that
discredit
fake
that.
ass playlist.
He had Bad and Bougie on his playlist. He had Bad and Bougie on it.
I don't know, man.
All right, so had I no, because he doesn't have 3 felonies. He's not a fuck up. You know what I mean? He's exposing fucking Fonnie Willis. You know what I mean? He's just on the team. He released a whole lot of good felons. He caught 3 felonies. He's a fuck up. If we're gonna have anybody,
ASAP Rocky.
come on, bro. Lil Wayne.
Well, also like prior to his whole Proud Boy arc in the 2016 elections, Black America loved Donald Trump. He was beloved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Fools was referenced on songs from everybody to Raekwon and Smith and Wesson to Mac Miller. Like,
I don't think YG plays "Fuck Donald Trump" in concert anymore.
No.
Or at least when I was at Rolling Loud and I watched him and Tyga's entire set, I'm pretty sure that he did not.
No, I'm sure that song is like out of rotation at this point.
It's just such a different time from the era in which hating Donald Trump was just like a given for any young in America. It felt like, especially on the coast,
the stimulus package. He won the black community forever with the free dub. Everybody got a free dub.
But hey, man, Kamala's polling pretty good because let's be real. As much as Trump has a whole movement behind him, there is a huge chunk of America that fucking hates him. And I feel like Kamala, as much as she may be somewhat detestable and has this insane, annoying, psychotic laugh thing, I do feel like maybe like it does seem like a good shot by the Democrats that they might actually embrace a somewhat normal human being. Because, all right, think about the number one thing that they used against Joe Biden. You're old. Guess what? Kamala Harris is 59.
Right.
Trump is old as fuck to her. So now she can take the Uno reverse card and say, hey, that shit that you were saying about my team, boom, you're 20 years older than me. Fuck you.
Hey,
well, here's the thing. So I kind of have a different perception.
It's a lot more young people than old people. We going off
but they don't really
Instagram
vote.
trend.
Well,
And it's all about a couple of swing states.
Well, here's the thing. Like, for me personally, when I look at Kamala Harris, I look at the person who incarcerated.
Yeah, I'm
people,
looking at the fucking DA of the state.
Yeah,
I'm
literally,
looking
like,
at
especially
the state attorney.
Being someone that has so many friends from the Bay Area and so many friends that got incarcerated by her administration directly.
You would think she was a fucking Klansman.
Giving
the way
away,
that she was doing that shit.
Giving football numbers out for nonviolent crimes and all kinds of crazy shit. Like, I despise that woman before she even was in a position to be running for like political office of that magnitude.
To be fair, I would say that a huge percentage of Californians agree that we need to be tougher on crime.
Fair enough.
There's been like a 26% reduction in both federal and state prisoners, like the number of people that are locked up, which from our perspective as hip hop fans and
thing.
people that are associated with the streets and stuff, that sounds pretty good. But a lot of Americans also clearly blaming that on why there's such an uptick in crime. So her being tough on crime, like the Republicans are going to try to paint her as exactly what you just said, and it might actually kind of work out for her because, well the Republicans probably aren't going to try to paint her as that, but like, you know, people in general are going to try to paint her as that. I feel like that might actually kind of serve her.
Well, what it does is it gets rid of like her authenticity and power to a lot of people within the disenfranchised communities that she's claiming to represent, and that the Democratic Party has been pandering to for the entirety of his existence.
I've seen her polling pretty well with black people.
Crime is down all across America and definitely in California.
The past couple years, but during COVID, it surged so much that I think that it still feels that way at the very least.
That's going to skew statistics, though.
Because
You know what I mean?
okay, the average American is like way more conscious of crime in 2024 than they were even back in 2019 because
yeah.
of social media and everything. It's just like out there. It's in front of your eyes a lot more.
100%, and that does two things. It reduces crime because it makes people be a little bit craftier because you can't just because there's cameras everywhere. Everything you do is on blast. But what it also does is, like you said, it brings more awareness of crime, which then like kind of perpetuates fear and makes it's a double-edged sword. But honestly, at the end of the day, all that aside, all the good old boys that were so opposed to the idea of a black person being in office, especially after Obama was there, that kind of like fueled Trump's entire reign initially, they're not going nowhere, and they're definitely not going to be like hop on over to the left with that candidate.
The whole thing is she's polling better than Biden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is kind of crazy that like the least popular like presidential candidate during her run at president / like as a vice president, she's been like overwhelmingly unpopular, could actually be more popular than the guy who was just president for 4 years.
Yeah, for sure.
That says a lot.
I think we all were waiting for Biden. I think it was like a dream come true. You've been fighting for years to become the president. You got your 4-year term. You did absolutely nothing but give away our money to other people at war.
Yep.
I understand what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? You were trying to reconcile the relationships that Trump once crushed, I guess. But the nice guy always loses. So get the fuck up out of here, Joe.
When Kamala wins, it's going to be extra hard for all the Trump supporters to take the fact that this relatively unlikable Indian woman was able to beat their guy.
Oh, that's gonna piss them off for sure.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
But like Dr. Umar made a really interesting point because like he's like, this was before. If you watch his Breakfast Club interview, he was talking about. They asked him because I think it dropped 2 weeks ago. So this is before Biden dropped out, and they were like, "So what do you think about should Biden drop out?" And he was basically like, he's 100% inept, but really who looks the most inept is the Democratic Party overall. That this is the best candidate they could come with.
Omar is so persuasive that he almost has me feeling bad about bunny hopping. Like, why am I with a white woman? Armenian, but still.
That's ambiguous. Like, there's like, you know what I mean? Like, Armenia is.
His commitment to the bunny hopping thing is like the craziest shit
Armenians are borderline.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's enough sun over there to make them brown.
One time, Lena and I were at the store, and a couple of small teenagers came up to her and told her that they really appreciated how she was representing for people of color.
Yeah.
And she asked me, she said, "Am I seriously a person of color? Like this, like what?" Like she never had anybody like refer to her as that her whole life. And then when she first